everyone! So I know it's that time of the year where everyone's trying to register for classes and get everything that they want. So being an upperclassman, here are some of the tips and tricks that I found to be really useful for me when I was trying to make the perfect class schedule. So tip number one is definitely ask upperclassmen, especially seniors and juniors who are studying abroad, because they can hold classes for you and then they can drop it when you register so you can pick it right up. Tip number two, so if you are waiting to grab that last spot in a class, make sure you put only that class in your calendar and then register only for that class. Because if there's another class that doesn't go through along with your desired class, USC web registration actually won't let either of those classes go through. So in other words, USC actually lets you just do one transaction at a time, and so if one class doesn't go through, then none of the classes will go through. Number three, talk to your advisor so you can get D clearance. A lot of upper division classes require these D clearances, and so if you need to register for that class, make sure you get D clearance beforehand. Also, if you find yourself in the situation where you're trying to register for class and it says you don't have D clearance, call One Stop and email them at onestop@usc.edu. They're actually really fast at responding. If you give them your student ID as well as the section ID, they might be able to clear it up for you. So it's really important that you memorize this number right here as well as their email, and just make sure that whenever you have a problem, email them. And my tip number four is if you have a class that conflicts with another class, you can actually get a PDF form that allows you to register for both of those classes at the same time. And this is really useful when you have to register for a discussion and it's the only one open, but it conflicts with another class. And what you can do is just go to that discussion session at a different time and officially register for another discussion section that's actually open. Number five, if a class is full, call that department or even just ask the teacher that is teaching that class, because they might be able to put you on a waiting list or even just open up a class for you. A lot of the times, depending on how many chairs can fit in a classroom, that's when the teacher will actually cap it instead of like the number that it says on web registration. So just make sure that you ask the teacher and don't give up. Number six, keep rechecking USC web registration constantly, even if you don't think people will drop, because they will. I've seen in my past 2 years here, I've always been able to get a spot in a class that has been full just because I've just kept rechecking and rechecking. And this also applies for people who are trying to register for fall classes in the springtime. So if you don't get a class that you want in the spring, just wait up until 3 weeks into the fall semester, because you can still add and drop classes until then. And there's also this really cool app, it's called Notify SC. So what it does is if you input your class that is full, they will text you when a spot opens up so you don't have to keep refreshing yourself. Number seven, use up as many of your units as possible. So if you're at 15 units, make sure you get a 2-unit yoga class in there somewhere. Just because web registration is based on how many units you have. So the more units that you have, the earlier you can actually register. And for my last tip, I actually heard it from a friend. USC does this thing where it holds a certain number of spots for a different class, and I've heard that they open up those slots at 9:30 on a Tuesday or a Thursday. I'm not 100% sure that this is accurate, but it's worth giving it a try if you're really trying to get on those spots. And that's it, guys. I really hope that was useful for you. After 4 semesters of registering for class here at USC, those were just some of the things that I picked up on as well as just used in order to help me get a really good schedule. If you want to see what my schedule looks like, I'll just post it right here. And I know it's a little bit blocky, but I really liked it that way because then that means I can just get class out of the way, and then I also didn't have class on Fridays. So if you have any questions, make sure you put it down in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye!